In this lesson, we'll continue a review of Writing Test 10, Section 2. We're now on the second passage, Keep Student Volunteering Voluntary. A growing number of public schools in the U.S. require students to complete community service hours to graduate. Such volunteering, be it helping a local animal shelter when they pick up litter or working at a health care facility, has obvious benefits for the community it serves and teaches students important life skills. And so question 12, we saw this in the last passage. This looks like parallel structure. We have such volunteering, be it helping at a local animal shelter. We also have working at a healthcare facility. Remember, if they're not underlined, those are correct. When they pick up, this is not only not parallel, but the they is ambiguous. You just want to be parallel. And this one is D, picking up litter. But critics say that making volunteerism compulsory misses the point of the act. By its very definition, volunteer work is done willingly. By requiring students to do community service in order to graduate, school officials are taking away students' choice to give up their time for nonprofit activities, making volunteerism less meaningful and pleasurable. And so question 13, the writer wants a transition from the previous paragraph that highlights the criticism of compulsory volunteerism mentioned in the previous paragraph, which choice best accomplishes the goal. And so at the very end of the first paragraph, even though volunteering in general it's beneficial to the community and it's good for in theory for the volunteer, critics say that making volunteerism compulsory, mandatory, it misses the point of the act. So we want to highlight this last sentence in this new paragraph. By its very definition, volunteer work is done willingly. This looks good because the critics are saying by making it mandatory, it misses the point. And then by its very definition, define what volunteer work is done. It's done without coercion, right? It's done voluntary. It's done willingly. So this one looks good. Whatever the work may be, or for many students, virtually the community's in need. No, we just need the very definition here, and that definitely works. So it's A. School officials, that's possessive, are taking away students' choice. So we definitely don't need a possessive for officials. Are taking away students. Now think about what the noun is, the subject. Is it one student or many? It's definitely many, so we need the apostrophe after the S, and it's their collective choice. So no apostrophe for officials, and then an apostrophe after the S. And so this one is D here, right? It's not one student, but it's the collective choice for all the students. So even though there's no question, I'm still going to read the rest of this. According to a psychological concept called the Reactance Theory, the loss of freedom in choosing activity can cause a negative reaction. For instance, instead of focusing on the good they're doing, students may become resentful of the demands that compulsory volunteering places on their schedules. Proponents of compulsory volunteering who are in favor would point out that it allows young people to garner the benefits that volunteering offers. So proponents of compulsory, proponents mean people in favor, right? Advocates. Why would you need to say volunteering who are in favor? That is a classic redundancy. We don't need the advocating because that's what proponents do. We don't need advocates. We just need volunteering. Proponents of compulsory volunteering point out. So look out for that. Definitely a redundancy in all the other choices. Students who volunteer report increased self-esteem, better relationship building, and increasingly busy schedules. Supporting example that's the most similar to the examples already in the sentence. So this is another evidence-based question. You want to be consistent. These are the benefits that students who volunteer, they report increased self-esteem, better relationship building. What would be a third example that is consistent? Increasingly busy schedules. That really doesn't fit, right, with esteem and relationship building. A closer connection to the community. This looks good because it's very consistent with building self-worth and relationship building skills, closer connection to the community. This one looks good. It's not less time engaging in social activities or little increase in academic achievement. It's definitely B. And we'll do one last question, number 17. Some studies have found that students who do community service are more likely to volunteer as adults and thus affect society positively over the course of many years. So affect here, you want to think about, is this an effect? Is this a verb? It is not. This is affect the noun. You really want to be careful. Affect a verb is with an A, right? And it's not affects because we have students, so we don't need the singular version. We just want affect with an A. You want to be careful for that. And so the answer there is B.